Laura Ray, and today I'm going to do a video all about my mom's makeup at 81. This is a video that I wish I would have made a long time ago. For various reasons, I didn't. For those of you that don't know, my mom passed away in October, and she was just the type of person that was not about herself at all. She was very introverted. She just didn't like any attention on herself. So many times I asked her if she would do a video with me, and she did not want to. But a few months before she passed away, she said to me, "You ought to do a video about my favorites. I'm 81, and there are ladies that are older than you, and they would probably like to hear the things that I like." And I was shocked when she said that to me. I couldn't believe it, because for so long I had wanted her to be on camera and she didn't want to do it. So this is a long time coming. For those of you that don't know what happened to my mom, many of you do because you're subscribed to the channel, and I kept updates in the community post about her health and what was going on, because at that time I wasn't releasing videos like I always have for almost 10 years, because I was at the hospital with her. But back in April of last year, of 2023, she started having some arm pain. They found out that she had a tumor on her spine, and they didn't find that out and figure all that out till August. And by the time they did, they said it was cancer and it had come from somewhere else. They did not find out until 3 days before she passed away that it was stage 4 stomach cancer. They did numerous tests, and finally the PET scan revealed that's what happened. She signed her own hospice papers, and she spent 3 days there. I was with her for those 3 days and 3 nights. And she passed away on October 10th. It's taken me this long to do her favorites because it's just so new and raw, and I just haven't been able to do it. But today I am going to share her favorites. Let's start first with skin. My mom had the most beautiful skin. We always would joke that it's poreless. And it's just her genetics. I didn't get those genes. I got my dad's skin, so I do have pores that stand out. I used to ask her, "What do you use?" And she pretty much always used drugstore skincare. She never used Retin-A. She never went to the dermatologist for anti-aging creams. She just went for yearly checkups of her skin, but that was it. So mainly over the years, I saw she used L'Oreal skincare and Olay. So I brought this today to put on. It's the Micro Sculpting Cream. It's fragrance-free. I really do love the texture of this, so I thought I'd put a little of this on. Now, one eye product she loved that she ordered, I talked about, because her drawer was full of a lot of things I've talked about over the years, was from Queen Bee Naturals, the Queen Bee Peeper Keeper, the original one. I don't have that right now, but I do have this one, their nail and cuticle balm, and it looks a lot like it. It's just a balmy texture, and it's very solid in the container, and you can just tap this under the eyes and it really keeps them moisturized. They have a formula for the cuticles and nails, so I'm going to put a little of this on. My nails can use it, but it looks just like the original one that she used for the eyes. She loved that. She would get a little dryness in the under eyes. Now this has a lemon smell. You can't put this in your under eyes. It would probably not feel so great, but it's perfect for the cuticles. It reminds me a lot of the one from Burt's Bees. They have a lemon balm. One thing about nails, I didn't bring it with me here in the filming room, is she loved a glass nail file. I had ordered the glass nail file to try because of her recommendation. Often Mom would recommend products to me, things she would use, and I would try them out and then end up showing them. So a glass nail file is something I've used for a long time because they have also the buffer file that really shines up the nails. So that's something she recommended that I really love. Now, since I don't have the under eye Queen Bee Peeper Keeper, the original, I bought this one with me in the filming room, the Bright Eyes. I've talked about this. This is one of their newer creams. It's not very thick. This one has caffeine in it, so it's more for plumping. It's a thinner eye cream. And I really like the way it absorbs in the skin. And I could see this being one that Mom would really love too. When I went through her makeup drawer, I found that Be Naturals in there. So I'm basing this video on things I've bought for her that I know she loved, that she commented so much about, and also just things that I found in her makeup drawer when I was going through that. Brought back a lot of memories of things I had recommended over the years that she just bought and stuck with those things because she loved them so much. Her brow pencil she loved the most, I would say, was the Revlon. Mom bought a lot of drugstore makeup, or should I say I gifted it to her because she hardly had to buy anything anymore once I started a channel. She would say, "Oh, that looks so interesting, what you were talking about." And then I would send it to her through Amazon. So she liked that you could brush through on this end, and then she just loved the color of the pencil. It really matched her brow. The color of this one is soft brown. I really prefer a taupe, but at the time I had bought this, whenever I did buy it, they didn't have that. So I'm just going to lightly fill in the brows. I did Mom's makeup many times. I loved doing her makeup for her, although she was so amazing at it. She started art in her 60s. Now, she had always drawn things and done crafts, and we knew she had this incredible art talent. Art is not what she did for her living. She was a paralegal, and when I was a kid, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she was amazing at that. She ran my sister and me to dance class all the time, and the house always looked amazing. She cooked delicious meals. I'm so thankful that, my mom was able to stay home with us because we spent so much quality time together. And just, she was there at the school volunteering. She was the room mom, so she was just involved in all the things that my sister and I did. There's only two of us. My sister is 5 years younger. I was 5 years old when she stopped working out of the home as a paralegal, and then she went back when I was in high school and my sister was in middle school, and then worked until retirement. Her career was as a paralegal and an office manager when she retired. So let's talk about eyeshadow. Mom did love eyeshadow. She didn't wear it as often once she retired from work, but one of the palettes I bought her was a Tarte, and I don't have the same one that I bought her, so I just brought the Tartelette in Bloom in, and I don't think Mom wore eyeshadow primer that often. Her lids were not oily, but they weren't dry, so she could just apply eyeshadow and be fine with that. So today I'm just going to put the eyeshadow on. And she loved just soft, a very soft look. She had green eyes. I have hazel eyes, so I have a combination of my dad and my mom. My dad has dark brown eyes, but her eyes were just so beautiful, just a bright green. But back to my mom's art. She started art once she retired, and her artwork is just amazing. I'm going to show some pictures of it. I showed a lot of this in the community posts. I couldn't believe she allowed me to do that. I did ask her permission for that. I'm going to go into this whiter shade here just to blend out the edges. And like I said, she never wanted any attention on herself. She did an art show one time and she loved doing that. It was a local art show, but she really did mostly her art just to make people happy. She would make handmade cards for our birthdays. She gifted me so many pieces of art for my home. I have a beautiful picture of 2 children on the beach. She always did her artwork geared towards the person she was painting it for. And something really beautiful, she had my cousin, who's my age, over to the house and mentored her in painting. And now my cousin is doing beautiful artwork too. So that is just very special. We didn't have a funeral for my mother. We had a celebration of life, and we brought all of her artwork that she had already framed. There were about 15 pieces at the house that were framed, and had those out. And it was just amazing how many people very close to her did not understand the level of her talent or see her work. That just shows how modest she was about everything with her talent. But I love the fruit she painted, cherries and pears. And when we were at a rehab hospital after her spine surgery, I had her artwork up and people were all wanting to buy it. I showed it to a gentleman that was there at the rehab with his wife, and he said, "Let me know how much you want. I'll pay anything for it. I really would love it for my house." So I know that if Mom had wanted to, she definitely could have sold her artwork. When my mom was at the rehab hospital after her spine surgery, I said, "Let's put on some makeup. I think that's going to make you feel better. Let's get your hair washed. I'll blow dry it." So we sort of did a makeover at the rehab hospital. And I found that her eye pencils she had at home, I went to the house to get her makeup. They were a little dried up. She needed some refresh. So I went and bought her a Color Stay liner from Revlon. She always loved slate gray, was a favorite color, and like a mossy green or plum. She didn't really like black that much. She really loved those colors. They complemented her eyes. So today I had slate gray in my collection, and I'm going to just put that close to the lash line. I put some of this Color Stay on yesterday and it did not want to come off. It really does stay. It's such an affordable liner, and like I said, that was something my mom repurchased many times. Now let's talk about mascara. I believe Mom recommended this to me, and it's the Maybelline, the Lash Sensational. You don't hear about it much anymore, but it's a fabulous mascara. It's got a curved brush to it. It is a plastic brush, but it really gets in those lashes. You can get right down at the base of the lash. Back to the Tarte, I also bought my mom, it was a C palette, SEA, that C, and she must have loved it. It was well used. We kept some of her makeup just to have it, and that was one of the things that we kept. I used to love to buy her makeup every day. There didn't need to be a holiday. If she saw something that she liked that I showed, I knew how she is. It would be a while before she bought it. Didn't have to do with the cost of it. Just she would say, "Well, I don't know if I need that." And then she'd say, "Oh, I do need that." And so I just order it. If I thought it was something I knew she would like, I would just send it, and she'd say, "Some little birdie brought me a package today. It was on the front steps from Amazon." I said, "I wonder who that could have been." So I used to send her stuff quite a bit that I liked, that I knew she would like. My mom, like I said, was an amazing artist. So you can imagine she did my makeup for all my dance shows, when I was a kid until I was old enough, and I had watched her so long that I could do a pretty good job by the time I was 16, because I had a lot more practice than most kids because of all the dance shows that I was in, and we would have to wear makeup. And she always did enough to show on stage, but not overdone. And one thing I loved about my mom is she never was a dance mom. She never got into the politics of dance. She would just get me made up, make sure I had everything. She's so organized. She had the kit in case my costume ripped, just any little thing that I might need. And then she goes sit in the audience, and she didn't try to micromanage me. Those lessons that she taught me getting ready for those shows, how to organize, have carried me through many things in life, not just dance, but just being an organized person. It's helped me in the classroom. Just amazing how those lessons carry over into other things. So this is a beautiful mascara. I think it works great. I always buy the black. I know sometimes Mom would love brown mascara. She would talk about that or say, I don't want the dark black, just maybe like a soft black is something she would buy. Now, one thing I bought for Mom one birthday, I bought her 2 foundations. She's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to use all of this? But one of them that I bought was the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and she loved it. I had bought her a powder foundation. I kept trying to remember what it was because it was several years ago. I think it might have been from IT Cosmetics that I bought her a powder one from them. Whatever was really popular at that time is what I bought her. And then the Estee Lauder. And out of the 2, she just went crazy over this. And I'm in the shade 2N1 Desert Beige. Our skin tones were very similar, so I could buy something for me. And if I knew it worked for me, I would just order the same shade for Mom and send that to her or bring it to her. But this is such a beautiful foundation. I know some people, I've had trouble with it too as I've gotten older, being a little too drying for me. So I just make sure to be very moisturized and also apply a thinner amount than I used to. So I'm going to go, I don't know what this is. It's some kind of reaction, but this will be good because you'll be able to see how this covers it up. Now, one of the most favorite products of anything I ever sent Mom was the Stands Out sponge. She went on and on how much she loved that. So, of course, I'm using that today to apply. But she would say, oh, that's just so unique. It's different. It works so great. And I don't know that she ever used anything else to apply foundation after that, since I started talking about it. So she just loved how thin it applied the foundation. She really had no redness to cover. Like I said, I got my dad's side of the skin genes, and so I've struggled with acne and sensitive skin. Mom didn't have sensitive skin. It was very normal, and her pores were almost not visible at all. So she was very fortunate in the skin department, for sure. She never had acne like I did, but she really supported me when I had acne. She was the one driving me to the dermatologist all the time. And I remember one time I had gotten out of the appointment and they had treated my face, my back. I had it on my back. I had cystic acne. And the person I went to, actually, Dr. Fulton, was the originator of Retin-A and benzoyl peroxide. Dr. James Fulton is his name. He had a practice in Miami. I didn't see him personally. I saw one of his other doctors. He opened a clinic. It was called the Acne Clinic. And I remember being in the car. I was probably in 6th grade. And they had messed with my face, given me injections in my back and my face. And I just wasn't a crier, but I just broke down. And I said to my mom, I am the ugliest human on the face of the earth. And she just was always graceful and composed. And she just looked at me and she said, no, you're not. Don't give up on this. We're going to, get the acne cleared up. And, my face was bloody from them messing with me. And I just felt so bad about myself. And that's why I really feel for people that have had skin conditions, because I've had it myself and it's not fun. And it really messes with your self-image. But she always encouraged me and, supported me in getting it cleared up. So I'm very thankful that we had the resources to do that, and that I had a mom that cared so much that she would take all that time to take me there and to help get it cleared up. So whenever you guys give me a compliment about my skin, let me just say I appreciate it a lot, because my skin's been through a lot. Look at what a beautiful finish. I think it really does look amazing. I can see why Mom loved it so much. After that, she repurchased it herself. I don't think she ever used any foundation that she loved more than Estee Lauder Double Wear. That was her favorite. Now, unfortunately, her most favorite blush I've reordered, I don't have it yet, mine was used up, is the Daniel Sandler watercolor blush. She raved about that. She loved that you couldn't see it on your skin, yet the blush showed up. I brought that and put that on her when she was in the rehab, and it just gave her skin such beautiful color. But another product I ordered for her was Merit. I ordered her a lot of Merit stuff for one of her birthdays. So I have the Merit blush here in the shade Beverly Hills. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on right on the skin. Such a lovely shade. I've tried a couple of their shades, and this one is my favorite, because it just goes with everything. It has such a gorgeous look to it. She loved the Merit line. Everything I bought, she loved the mascara. She liked the blush. I don't know that I bought her the foundation. I think I bought her the lip stuff, the blush, the mascara, and she really enjoyed all of it. She brought it up many times. She'd say, oh, that Merit, I really, like that. And anytime she would say something like that, I'd know it was definitely a winner, because she wouldn't just say it to say it. She wasn't that type of a person. When she said something, she meant it. Now, one thing I want to say about her personality and the way she acted, she never said anything unkind about anyone. If she wasn't fond of someone or the way they acted, she just wouldn't speak. And that's so different than what we face. She couldn't believe some of the things people would say on social media, some of the things they would say to me. She couldn't believe it. And I just said, well, Mom, we just have to go on, right? The things go on and just move forward. And that's how she was. She was the type of person that wanted to just move past it. So of all her lipsticks, Revlon's definitely the favorite. I found these in her drawer, and one of these is a shade Revlon doesn't make anymore, but I saw it on eBay and I'll probably order it there. The bundle I looked at last night, you had to order 20 to get them, but it's called Strawberry Electric, and I wanted to show it on the back of my hand so you could see the shade. It's like a red pink, such a beautiful color. So she had that in her drawer. I don't know how long she's had this, but I can understand why she kept it. Maybe she was trying to match it with another shade. Look, I still can't get that liner off even as hard as I'm wiping. That really does stay. Now, the other one I saw that I knew she wore for years is Wine with Everything. And so it looks even very similar to the strawberry one, but such a gorgeous shade. I know they still make wine with everything, so that isn't a shade that's been discontinued or anything. But that Strawberry Electric, I'm going to get it and then try to match it with a more current shade that they actually have out. I brought this liner with me today. This one is Revlon Color Stay, and it's in the shade Mauve. And then this lipstick that I had in my collection is number 3, and it's Pick Me Up. So we're going to use those today. Mom would wear lip liner. She really liked it. She would fill in the entire lip and then go in with her color. One thing I didn't put on that she loved, I sent her, was the Laneige lip mask. I sent her the berry one. She had that in her drawer, and she loved it so much. I think it's hard to beat Revlon for an affordable lip liner. I know for many years she bought an Elizabeth Arden foundation. I actually used it in high school. It was in a compact, but it was a cream. And I used it and it covered up my acne so well. So I bought it until I moved on to other things that maybe the dermatologist recommended for me. But it was such a great formula. It was a cream that it had some oil to it. But once you put it on, it would cover anything. Some of you may have used Elizabeth Arden before and know what I'm talking about. Now that lip liner matches beautifully with this. Now this is a matte lipstick, but more of a powdery feel to it, not drying at all. Now I wanted to mention that the top I'm wearing was Mom's. I just cleaned out her closet the other day. That was very hard for me to do. I had started with her pants. I did that 1 week and gave those to my school. They're having a sale to raise money for the children to go on a field trip. I work at a school where the kids can't afford an end of the year trip. So they're doing tons of fundraisers so the kids can actually go on their end of the year trip for 5th grade. And so I donated Mom's pants. I knew she would love that. She supported so many different charities. We're still getting things from all these charities she supported. And one of them was anything to do with kids. She really wanted kids to have a good life. And so I knew she'd be really happy with that donation. A couple of other things. First off, Mom loved the Mally, the Poreless Face Defender. She used it, I don't know, maybe we both bought it years ago, and she reminded me of it, and I ordered it again and really like it for taking off the shine. I just use my Stands Out sponge. Mally does have her own sponge that comes with it, but some people have said, oh, this takes off my makeup. What I find is you have to make sure your makeup is dried down. And the Estee Lauder Double Wear dries down beautifully. A lot of these new foundations that are so dewy almost never dry fully. So it works great with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And you just tap, 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 like Mally says, and then sort of pat, pat, pat. And I like this because I do get shiny in the T-zone, so that takes away the shine. One last product, and then I will share the final look, is Vegamour. Mom felt, she always had thicker hair than I do. Her texture of her hair was thicker, not as fine. I have baby fine hair like my dad. And she noticed in the last couple of years some areas that weren't as thick. Mainly right up here at the top of the head. And she always kept her hair short. She had such a cute pixie cut. And she saw me using the Vegamour and she said, maybe I'll try that. So she was on a subscription of that. And so I have the Vegamour here. I'm going to take my hair down from here. It's not styled yet, so it's going to look crazy. But what I do is just take the dropper. See, I told you it would look crazy. And fill one dropper full like this amount. And then I go right in here. I do the crown because my hair used to part there also. And especially around here, you can see all the growth I have here. That used to be just skin, forehead. But this has given me a lot of growth in the front. I just go right down this area and then all over the head. And I have found that since I started this, I think 2 years now, almost, maybe in March it'll be 2 years, and I've been purchasing this, that it's helped my hair quite a bit. And then just massage it in. Now, when Mom was sick, I skipped a lot of these things because I was at the hospital maybe 12 hours a day. I took a leave of absence from school. I took the Family Medical Leave Act, so I was with her, and I would get home maybe at 8 o'clock at night after being in the hospital room all day. And so I just was so tired, so upset, it was a lot. So my beauty routines sort of went out the window. I would just wash my face, maybe put a little moisturizer and go to sleep, and then do the same thing again the next day. So those of you going through the loss of a close family member, I totally understand when you say, I just don't feel up to it. So now I'm finally, this is 4 months now, starting to get back to some of my routines that I was doing before Mom got sick. I'm going to go style my hair, and I'll be right back. I hope this video was helpful to you in some way. Maybe you saw something here you haven't tried that you'd like to try. These are all products, of course, that Mom and I love so much. And I just want to thank you for your encouragement over those months, your love and support. It meant the world to Mom, and it meant the world to me. I can never thank you enough. I hope you have a blessed week, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.